devaluing yourself in certain areas of your life, like in relationships, in your career, or in other areas in general? Like, are you the type of woman that is kind of like afraid to set boundaries, personal policies, and actually say no to things? What about in relationships? Like, what if you're with a male that you actually like? Are you actually speaking your truth and saying what you actually want, or are you just kind of like serving him and like wanting to please him? This is exactly what we're going to talk about today because I think it's so important for a woman to actually speak her truth and to actually stand up and set your boundaries. Okay, for to set her boundaries, to actually feel in flow with what is her truth and to stand her ground on certain things, like, for example, a certain salary that you want, for example, a certain situation that you want in your relationship or in your marriage or whatever it is, to step out of situationships and to do anything that is actually there to serve you and to serve your life and to step into your power. Okay, this is what we're going to talk about today. My name is Patri, and I basically talk about everything to do with women to support you to step into your power and to speak your truth and to actually get what you desire from your life. Because I personally think that you're your own best project. This is actually your life. This is not anybody else's life. So you're not here to please anybody else. Yes, you're here to make a positive impact in the world, which is actually your true purpose. And I think it's everybody's purpose. But in order to be your best self, to serve others, you need to serve yourself first because you're the first one that you wake up to. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I made my notes and here they are. One of the things that we need to keep in mind is that you need to stop devaluing yourself and to put yourself on the pedestal for once. Okay, for once and for all. You need to actually stop devaluing the shit out of yourself because you're doing yourself a disservice and you need to start doing yourself a favor and actually value yourself and know your worth and know what you're actually worthy of and speak your truth. Okay, so I want to teach you how to like own your own worth as a woman. Okay, and this could be like in terms of the career, the relationships, and in other things, but also most of all, I'm actually going to speak about boundaries. Okay, because I know this one is a really tough one for certain women. Why? Because we were placed in this world with this beautiful element of wanting to care for others and wanting to give and wanting to nourish and wanting to support. And I think this is such a beautiful thing about women. And I think a lot of men have it too. I like this is a fact, but especially with women, we're like basically taught to care and to nourish and to basically look after others. I'm gonna put my phone on silent because my girly is messaging me. Okay, right. So I've always put on bedtime. I'm like, yes, I'm asleep. Nobody speak to me. Okay. So my question for you here is, are you over giving in any of these areas? Okay, so in your career, whether it's your business or your job or whatever, or in your relationships, or in anything else that you can think of. Okay, think of where you are overgiving and oversharing. And it's like basically, when certain things leave you depleted rather than fulfilled, this will help you to answer your question. Okay, this is like a little bit of a self-reflection moment to like journal, to have this moment to yourself, gift this moment to yourself. Where in your life are you overgiving? Where do you feel like after that, whether it's after a work day or after a work week, like sometimes it's fine, okay? Like sometimes it's okay. But for example, if I was in a job where I felt like I was overgiving and also like not valued sufficiently for that, or like not, whether that's financially or whether that's like, the relationship that I have with those people, I would have questions for myself. Okay, so where are you overgiving? Okay, where are you feeling depleted? Where are you feeling like you're giving too much energy and you're not getting enough back? Okay, so this is something that you need to think about. If it's in a relationship or if it's with a man that, for example, you're not even with, then you need to have a conversation with yourself and say, hey, this is stopping right now. Why? Because where you need to actually be at is in a place of overflow. This is like where the female is feeling the most juicy, the most delicious, where she can actually give so much because like the energy is so contagious. This is for men and women, by the way. Like when your energy is overflowing and you're filled with love, because like like I'm literally getting goosebumps because like when you fill yourself up with so much love, with so much care, with so much nourishment, and then you start to like you always see that you're receiving it back. You feel like everything you touch turns to gold, and like you're filled with this like beautiful, you're left with this beautiful radiant energy that like nobody can shake from you. My candle just it's like it's such a beautiful space to be at because then the energy that you can give to others is so much better. So like for example, when I'm in a space of overflow, like at work, my energy is gorgeous. Like I can give so much more. I can really care for others, and my job really actually entails that. So like I gotta put myself first. Like I'm doing my whole morning routine. I'm going to the sauna. I'm going to the, so like I'm doing my whole like after the gym, I'll do my entire recovery area where like I'm doing maybe an ice bath, maybe not. Maybe I'll just do the jacuzzi that day, or maybe I'll just actually meditate the shit out of it. Whatever it is that makes me feel good, I'm going to do so that I'm in a space of overflow. Not always, okay? Like it's not always perfect, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm like, where am I giving to myself here so that I can give to others? And recognizing this energy that I'm at, the where is it? Like what is it? So I want you to really, really think, dive in deep to like, am I overgiving in any of these areas? And where am I feeling depleted or like undervalued? Because as a female, you're going to naturally give, but like overgiving and making yourself like feel like this energy drain and not feel good in yourself and not feeling like you're really not at your best self. Like it's like just shit, I don't feel good or whatever. You don't want to be in that space. Okay. So I really want to make sure that like you're actually valuing yourself, taking care of yourself, and that you see your worth in like all of the areas in your life. Okay. So, like, do your friends treat you well? Does your partner treat you well? Does your potential partner treat you well? If you're dating, do they treat you well? Do you know what kind of boundaries and standards you have? What actually, oh my God, like this is flowing through me because like I have my notes, but then all of a sudden okay, I have an exercise for you. Like maybe, okay, grab a paper and write down like, what are my personal standards? Okay, like what are my personal standards? How do people treat me? When I go into the shop, how do people treat me? How do I walk into the room so that I'm treated that way? Okay, am I smiling? Am I keeping my head down? Like, am I serious? Which is fine, by the way. If you're in your luteal phase and you're keeping your head down, you best be believing I do as well. That's absolutely fine. But in general, like on a day to day, on a normal day to day, like, are you smiling? Are you walking into the room like being like, hey, what's up? Like, whatever. Like, yes, like, for example, walking into the gym, hey, how are you? Like, blah, blah, blah. Yes, like, do your own thing. I'm not saying be overly nice. You don't want to be the nice girl that's like overly nice and tries so hard to be nice. No, you're kind, you're respectful, but also what is your energy? Okay. So in order to be treated nicely, obviously you gotta be a kind person. Like you gotta be genuine, you gotta love yourself. So what are my standards? How do people treat me? How do my friends treat me? How does my potential partner treat me? Or how does my husband treat me? Write it down, narrate it, and stick with it. Stick with it. This is like, if you haven't been treated or if you haven't been valued recently in the way that you have wanted to, state it, dictate it, and decide that from now on, this gets to be the way. And how do you show up in order to be treated that way? How are you showing up? You can write down as a follow-up question once you have done that, once you have journaled, like, how do people treat me? Okay, so like, how do I want to be treated from now on? Like, this is my personal statement, and this is what gets to happen, this or better. So then after journaling on that, you can write down, okay, shit, where the fuck was I going with this? I got lost in my own thoughts. You can write down a little statement of like, from now on, this is what I get to have. This is what I get to have or better. And like as a follow-up, like write down like, how am I showing up in order to be treated this way? Like how do I present myself? How do I walk into the room? What is my identity? Like what do I think about myself? What is it that makes me confident? How am I embodying confidence? How am I valuing myself so that other people value me? Because the way that you treat yourself when nobody is looking, when you're in your own room, when you're in your house, like if you're deciding to eat healthy, if you're deciding to, the decisions that you make every single day are going to impact the way others value you as well. So like if you're there like behind scenes, BTS, when nobody's looking, and you're treating yourself like shit and talking to yourself like shit, and you're looking in the mirror and saying like, oh my goodness, the absolute state of me, like this is just like I just look whatever. I'm not even going to say it out loud because I'm not going to affirm. But if you don't like yourself, you cannot expect other people either at work or in relationships or in dating or in anything, or how are you going to expect them to value you? So I want you to really, really start actually taking action, consistent action every single day to speak to yourself super well, as if, I swear to God, the way that I see it when I started that journey like years ago is like, how would you talk to your little sister like that? Because I swear to God, my little sisters are like, in fact, all of my sisters, like I have four sisters, but like I swear to God, would you speak to your little sister like this, like saying like, oh, I don't like your body, like what's going on, like why do I look like this? No, 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 absolutely fucking not. Like if you wouldn't speak like that to somebody you absolutely adore and cherish, like for example, it could be your mom, it could be your sister, it could be your niece, like it could be your daughter. If you wouldn't speak to them like that, do not speak to yourself like that. Don't do yourself the disservice and the disrespect. You need to start respecting yourself. And this is how self-value actually starts. I went on a tangent there. That was not on the notes, but here we go. You got a little exercise out of it, and that's like the main thing. Can I speak? It's very early. I don't know. I don't usually record this early, but anyway, it's fine. Oh my God. Okay, this is a really, really juicy question I came up with. Would you feel, hear me out, okay? Like literally write it down, like now, like it's very important. Would you feel taken advantage of or resentful if this thing was to not work out? This is important. Why? Particularly in relationships and in career. Okay, so if you're in a job, for example, that underpays you, this is like the obvious one. If it was to end and they were like, actually, like we can't continue anymore because this is that, would you feel taken advantage of if that contract was to end, or if that like permanent employment was to end, or if that project was to end, or if that client was to leave because you put your heart and soul into it and you were underpaid? That is when you know. Okay, so that's when you think about the question. Like, that's why the question is useful, but also in relationships, why this is the obvious one as well. Because if you were to feel, if you're a man, or if this situation, I don't believe in situationships, by the way, but like whatever suits everyone, okay? Like it could suit, for example, people who like are non-monogamous. So that's absolutely perfect. Like there are certain, I've always been like against them, but now I'm like, actually, it suits certain people. So like, I'm not going to say anything. So that's fine. If that situationship was to end, if that relationship was to end, if that marriage was to end, or if that like whatever it is on earth that you have with somebody was to end, that connection, that friendship, would you feel taken advantage of? Because bring yourself to that point. Just imagine for a moment, meditate with me a little bit, and like just imagine, go to the end scene of like this potential. Okay. Say like, okay, if this was to end, tap into it. Would I feel like I gave too much and I didn't receive enough? Right? Okay, think of it for a little moment. And I swear to God, if you feel like you would feel at that point taken advantage of, there is something that really needs to change, and you need to actually start embodying your boundaries, your standards, and what it is that you deserve or better. Because if you don't, you're going to feel resentful. You know what happens when you feel resentful? Your body reacts. Your body reacts and not in a good way. Okay, you start rejecting things. You start resentment is it like it results in an illness. Okay, like if you hold on to things and it's like, oh my God, like this feeling of like doing too much and not receiving enough is like not good. Okay, we got to do something about it. So, for example, okay, an example, perfect example. I was speaking to a friend, beautiful, beautiful friend. Oh my goodness, she deserves the world. And actually, like we all do, we deserve the best. Like we deserve the absolute best. Like everybody does. Okay, fair. Like, you're accepted. We're leaving there. But like for the, especially for the people, oh my God, that are so, they have such beautiful souls, that are so kind, they're so loving, they're such, like they're beautiful energy. And she was offered this contract. She was so excited. She got ready for the interview. And she was buzzing and she was really happy. But then, like, eventually, when the price was discussed, like when the budget was discussed for this project for her energy, like the energy exchange, it was shit. Like it was shit. She was so disappointed and she messaged me. She was like, I don't want to do this. Like, oh, this is awful. Like, like, okay, she didn't say that, but like, this is disappointing. Like, I'm not going to do that. Listen, especially because my specialty is HR, I'm just like, no, like I cannot look at this right now. And I think sometimes it's like completely taking the piss with like women as well with salaries and stuff. It's like, are you serious? Like, but in general, right? Because obviously prices rise for things and inflation happens and then the salaries are like, okay, you gotta stand for like what a good salary is, right? Or like for the project, what the budget is. So I have so many things to say about this. And like, I truly believe that like you need to ask yourself this question of like, are you paying yourself enough energetically? And what I mean by that is like, are you truly believing that you're worthy of these things? Are you paying yourself energetically in the sense of like, are you like really speaking your truth about what you expect, about your boundaries, about your standards? Like, there's so much to be said about this. Like, so if you take yourself to the space of like, okay, if this situationship, like in the romantic side, if the situationship or relationship was to end, would I feel taken advantage of? Would I feel drained? Would I feel so fucking angry or frustrated or disappointed? Like I gave the loyalty, I gave this and that. This is why women end up so fucking exhausted when there's a breakup. This is why there's so much of a physical reaction. This is why there's so much like frustration, resentment, all of this. Because you, my love, you are a wonderful woman, I'm sure, and you love to gift your energy and you love to enable your nourishing energy. And that obviously that's coming out of you. Like this is a currency that you've given out. So you need to like ask yourself, how much of this am I giving out? Like, is this worth it? And stop yourself here, okay? Grab a pen. I want a prettier pen. Like, what's the pen? Oh, I need to go get pretty pens. This is what I need to do. Because my journals are gorgeous. Okay, they're gorgeous. They're always gorgeous. I always get them gifted. But then maybe I need to like start like saying out loud, hey, like I want to manifest beautiful things. Come to me. Maybe that's it. Okay, so okay, you can write down like something like, okay, where, see, this is it, my ADHD. I just get lost. Where am I like actually paying myself enough energetically and where am I not? Okay, where are my standards in this area? Where are my standards? What do I need to like receive more of in this situation, in this certain situation that is true to me? Where am I speaking my truth? Where am I not speaking my truth? Okay. But there is a little side note here, and this is my final note. Well, who knows? It could be my final note. Hopefully it is. But this is such an important note, and you need to like really, really think about this because I really am very strong on speaking about boundaries. But I think when we think about boundaries, what people think is like, I need to say this, I need to say that, and I need to tell them this, and I need to tell my man that this is not okay anymore, and like say it like 10 times until it fucking like, and no, this is not the way it always works. Okay, boundaries are not always spoken and they don't always have to do with words coming out of your mouth. I'll tell you why. Boundaries need to be embodied, okay? Like they need to be actually part of what you're doing, part of your actions every day, part of how you show up. So, for example, if I was to like realize like have this like kind of self-aware moment, this journal moment, and me like realize that like, hey, like this man, this person is not showing up the way that I would expect them to, and I'm giving too much. What's happening here? So I would like journal about this or like have this like little meditative moment and be like, this is why my body doesn't feel great. Like I need more around them, like all of this. Okay. The way that you proceed is not always with words. Yes, you can say it once. You can speak your truth in a mature way, in a self-aware babe, the way, and say, okay, like this is what doesn't feel so good to me anymore. Like I've noticed this. How can we show up differently? How can you like, is there anything that you think that you can do? Something like this is fine. You can use words, but there are certain things that don't need words. Okay. Silence is also a boundary when you don't want to react anymore. Okay. This is a really mature way of doing this. That doesn't mean don't speak your truth. Okay. Sometimes silence is powerful. Another way is actually by simply like, again, this is a non-verbal, like your the way that you show up in your body. So your non-verbal cue, like these non-verbal conversations, like it's like your body language says a lot. Okay, it's like this is not okay. Basically, the way that you would usually show up very warm and nourishing and very affectionate, like taking that away is speaking your boundary. It's speaking your standard. It's like, if you continue to show up this way, this is what you don't get. That is a non-verbal boundary. Okay? They will realize that you pulled your energy away. Okay? These people will realize, like, especially, of course, if it's a romantic sort of partner, whatever that is, whatever situation you're in, if you pull your energy away, whether that's like not texting back, being slower, texting back, not answering the calls, or saying, like, I'm busy, that is a boundary. And if you have already mentioned why or what you would like to receive back energetically, like this is what I need to feel good in this situation. If you have already communicated that and you put up those boundaries, girl, that is a conversation in itself. That is a whole situation that you've just presented, and that is a boundary, and that is a standard that you have presented. It's very, very powerful, and that's how you respect yourself and value yourself. So my question is, do you constantly talk your boundaries, or do you actually embody the fuck out of them and present yourself the way that you would like to be valued? Because boundaries can be very much non-communicative and they're very powerful this way. Okay. So another thing is, like, I wanted to reinforce. I wanted to like really remind you that this is your life, okay? And you have a currency, and your currency is your energy. Okay, just the same way that everything is currency, like money is currency, money, everything is energy, okay? But your energy is your currency because you only have a certain amount in this lifetime. Okay, maybe you have plenty of lifetimes to live, who knows? I don't know if you believe in that. I don't really care what anybody believes in, up to you. But what I'm saying is that in this lifetime, you have a certain currency, that's your energy. We have a certain amount of years or a certain amount of whatever it is. So you get to dictate, are you going to keep putting up with your shit, with somebody else's shit? Or are you actually going to value yourself, speak your truth, and actually put up those boundaries, those personal standards? So I really, really would highly recommend to make a list of like, what are my personal standards from now on? What is it that I absolutely do get to have in this life? What is it that I get to have in a relationship? What is it that I get to have in a career? I can assure you that what you get out of those turning prompts is going to be the bomb. Like you're literally going to thrive with these journaling prompts. Okay. Like you get to decide. And in fact, especially if you're sick of somebody else's shit, if you're sick of things that are going on with work, if you're sick of certain things showing up the same all the time, I really like the times that I have done this, I don't even have words for how fast it worked. Okay. I would write down, I remember writing down like, I am no longer available for. This is no longer a part of my reality. I I do not associate with this type of behavior. I no longer, okay, so this was one of them. Back in the day, a long time ago. Okay, this does not happen to me anymore. So I am no longer available for unavailable men. Something like this. And this is, I know that this is relevant for a lot of you. So I'm no longer available to emotionally unavailable men. I am available for ... You have no idea how much like power there is in that like situation. Like it works so well. Another one would be I am no longer available for scarcity. I am available for abundance. The highest form of abundance. I have to go soon. Oh my goodness, I'm being collected. Okay. I literally need to get dressed for the gym. Okay, I'm being collected, so I gotta finish like super quick. I'm no longer available for shit salaries. I'm available for amazing salaries. I'm no longer available for disrespectful friendships. I'm available for the most amazing. Be as precise and as detailed as possible if you want to, but you can also be as short and sweet as you want to. Okay, cool. And then also blah 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 blah. Okay, speak your truth and move as if your boundaries are already in place. Okay, so you get to dictate, like you're literally, you can be a new person every single day and you can identity shift from one day to the next, from Sunday to Monday, or from Tuesday to Wednesday. So like embody those boundaries as if they're already in place and you have decided and your energy has shifted and boom bam. Okay, like you don't have to take like 3 months to embody those boundaries and to put them in place. Like this is your life. You get to have your rules, full stop. Okay, so my last conclusion before I absolutely run to get dressed, because your girl is in pajamas. Okay, lastly, know your value. Okay, so important. Know your value, know your worth, like know what you're actually worthy of, know what you're deserving of, dictate that, write it down, embody it. Make a board. This can be on Notion, this can be on Canva, this can be on paper. Paper is cool, I like it. Make a board of where your energy is going or where it's drained. When I say a board, I mean a like list, like mind map. Like I don't mean make a fucking vision board out of this. Like no, if you want to, yes, make a board of like where your energy. Yeah, a mind map. I guess I'm gonna call it heart map, soul map of where your energy is going or where it's drained. Okay, like where is it going, where it's being drained, like where am I no longer putting my energy into, and what am I deserving of? What's happening here? Okay, and bam, you gotta get dressed. Gotta go. Gotta go. See, when I go on tangents, that's what happens. Let me know if this was helpful, this was useful. Thank you so much for being here. Sending you so much love, and I'll speak to you very soon.